welcome to session 7 of our beginners program. This is part of our non-movement meditation practice. So of course, get yourself comfortable, seated and ready to come inside. So first of all, close your eyes and just start to connect with your system as it is at this moment. Just feeling into how your body is, how your mind is, how your energy, your emotions are, and start to bring that attention that we like to place on judgments, on ideas about how it should or shouldn't be, inside, just starting to accept. So feeling in, before we begin our breath work, into the inspiration of some of the keys of success that we've been looking at each session. Today's is inspiring company. It's the translation from the Sanskrit word of Sangha. So it's feeling into what this means for you, what brings you inspiration, the people in your life that help to lift you, the positive forces in your life. People that will challenge, that will speak truthfully. And also how you are around those people. Where do you bring those qualities out in yourself? So Sangha is something that's very important to recognize when you can be your, I suppose, uplifted self. It's not about being perfect, it's about being honest. Also feeling into the things that surround us all the time. So we think of the media we consume, the TV, the food, the environments, even what we buy. So it's feeling about what we're surrounding ourselves with. So drawing that into your practice today of what lifts you up. Okay, so with that inspiration, coming into our Namaste Kriya now, just take that internal check of what is that inspiration, that bhakti, that heart drive that's brought you to practice today. And take an internal bow to yourself for showing up to practice. It takes real determination to choose to practice again, to meet yourself as you are again. Take an internal bow to each other, the Sangha, the group energy, the people that are practicing alongside you. And take a bow to the method itself. Namaste. Namaste. Okay, so nice and slowly now, start to connect with your breath in whatever way you can. So whether it's a long breath straight away or actually quite a short breath, it doesn't matter. Just start to engage with your breath, bring your energy, your focus to that movement in the throat, in the lungs, in the nose, maybe in the mouth, and connect with the whisper muscles at the back of the throat. So we've talked about this in other sessions, the Ujjayi breath, where we make a slight constriction with the Ujjayi and it creates a sound. So you have the vibration, the sound of your breath in the back of your throat. So just find whatever way you can to start switching these muscles on, the whisper muscles, and engage with the breath. Just noticing how many counts of beat there are maybe to inhale. So maybe it's just 1, 2, 3, for example. And likewise, with an exhale, they tend to be longer. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter how long or short this is. It's about developing your own breath. So it's just finding that slow, steady connection as you may be inhaling. Slow, steady release with the whisper muscles on the exhale. We're going to be returning to this simple breath after having done a full workout of our lungs or respiratory system with our double breathing in a moment. So it's just about finding that engagement with your own breath today. Okay. So in our last session, we introduced some new double breathing. So we use belly breathing, which we've been using the entire series. But we also use belly to chest and then into the chest. So just as a reminder of these, when we come into our double breathing, the belly breathing, we're just relaxing the diaphragm as much as we can. And then it's an exhale out of the mouth. When it's belly to chest, it's an inflation of belly and then into the chest. And then 2 exhales out of the mouth. And then when it comes to the chest, it's 2 inhales into the chest and then 2 exhales out of the mouth. Okay, so when we come into these, last time we used 15 double breaths total. So 5 in the belly, 5 belly to chest, 5 in the chest. This time around, we're going to do the same sequence, but then we'll take a second round where we'll do 30. So it'll be 10 in the belly, 10 belly to chest, and then 10 in the chest. So with this, you've got to really learn to self-pace. So sometimes you'll find that the feeling sensation of this can be very strong. It can be activating a lot of the sympathetic nervous system. And it's about learning how to just soothe and calm just as much as you are activating. So it's learning to be with those big body sensations. If you're finding that working with this breath is too difficult, that actually it's just the belly breath that wants to remain, absolutely fine. Just keep working with it and just take the pacing down or the amount of energy that you're sending into the breath. So just find what works for your system, and gradually over time, if you do this session again, that you can start exploring into it a bit more. So learning how your nervous system is working today. Okay, so nice and simply, just come into your breathing again. Just take an inhale up, just to clear. Exhale, our breath to release. We're going to take another of these breaths. Taking an inhale up. Exhale, our breath. And we're going to take a natural inflation. And then start with 2 exhales out of the mouth. Away you go. Into the belly. One more. Belly to chest. One more. Switch into the chest. Last one. Exhale, our breath, empty out, soften, and slight pause, and then a rebound inhale to fill up throughout the whole of the body. Holding at the top for as long as you can, and then exhale, our breath, release, relax, and come into the first of your energized stillness. Putting your mind's attention into your body and making that crossover from thinking to feeling. Now, it might be that the main place that you feel the energy is in your face and head, maybe the neck. So that's where you place your attention. If it's lower down, you place your attention in your chest, your torso, maybe taking a full scope of the body. You just place your awareness into your body and be with the energy that you're made of. Allowing your nervous system to have gone from that one extreme where you've activated your sympathetic, a part of you that speeds everything up, that wakes itself up, that engages with the day, as you then transition into the parasympathetic, a part of you that helps to soothe, slow down, coming to that point where you relax a little bit more. And you're doing this all with the power of your breath. So it's not about the external influencing how your nervous system is or how your energy is. You're doing the influencing. So you're learning how to fully wake yourself up, but also how to fully soothe and rest your system. Okay, so now we're going to come into our 30 double breaths. So remind yourself about being paced, dialing down the intensity if you need to, or if you really feel that that's the bite that you need, dial it up. But just keep listening to the feedback that you're getting from your system. We start, as we do with each, of taking an inhale through the nose, filling up. Exhale, our breath, releasing, softening the body. Taking a natural inflation. And starting with 2 exhales out of the mouth, away you go. Belly. One more. Belly to chest. One more. To the chest. One more. Exhale, our breath, empty out, release. Now slight pause before then choosing that inhale, rebound, filling up right to the very top, to the brim. Holding it there a moment, and then exhale, our breath, release, relax, dropping that need to breathe as much as you can. So if this is available, just resting in that after poise, but allowing the breath to come in, be natural and gentle in the background, but being with the energy that you're made of. Feeling good sensations, placing your awareness into those sensations as they play themselves out. And following that transition, that pendulum, from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic. From the energy in the right side of the body, from Pingala, swinging through to the left side of the body, Ida. These are our energetic pathways. They're known as the nadis. Got thousands and thousands of them, approximately 72,000. And then allow your energy to balance itself in the middle, Sushumna. So finding this perfect balance. So it's not about thinking it, it's about feeling it. Our nervous system, our energy knows how to come into balance. And you've just set it up with some of the optimal tools. So feeling that transition, into Sushumna, into that center point, into balance. So very gently now, feeling that center point in your system. Start to inhale gently through the nose, connecting with the Ujjayi breath. And out through the nose, Ujjayi breath. So finding a slow, steady rhythm to your breathing. We're going to use the wood block and engage with that Ujjayi breath a little bit more. So in a moment, you'll start to hear the wood block. And as much as you can, bring your breathing in time with it. So inhale. So it's a 6-second breath rhythm. Exhaling out. Just practicing playing with the Ujjayi breath. Inhale. Exhale. So we're using the wood block to bring that balance to our breath. Often we find one part of the breath might feel easier exhale than another. So it's about finding that equalness. Inhale. Exhale. Keep engaging with the Ujjayi breath yourself. Some days it might find inhale that it's a little bit stronger. It might seem louder to yourself. Exhale. Other days it might be very internal. Quite quiet. Inhale. You're just growing those muscles, developing your engagement with your breath. Exhale. And it's giving some time to the nervous system. So again, calm and soothe itself. This in turn helps to influence our mind. So you think of how the breath can be quite short and agitated sometimes. It will then in turn be influencing how our mind is. We can feel quite agitated in our thoughts. But likewise, when we learn to soothe and slow down the breath, maybe it's through calming the body as well as the breath, our minds in turn are given the opportunity to slow down. So it's finding that slowing, soothing, controlled breath for you that enables us to help our minds also be slow, controlled, calm. And you're teaching yourself that you're able to be the master of your system, that you have techniques that will help you control how your system's feeling, especially when life chucks up stuff that we don't like, that our preferences scream no. So it's about harnessing the power of our breath and our awareness. Okay, so from this wood block, you know the equalness that can be created in your breath. If ever you find you struggle with the 6x6 breathing rhythm, don't worry, it's just about being with your system on the day. It's just something, an endeavour to work towards. We're going to take away the wood block in a moment, and then you'll be with your own breath as we introduce a new practice with our breathing. So we've got one more pulse, just feeling this breath, and then allowing yourself to come now into your own natural breathing rhythm. So paying attention to the Ujjayi breath, we're going to introduce a mantra of hum, sa. So whenever you find yourself inhaling, you're listening for the sound of hum on the inhale. So this actually comes from the throat. It will be there naturally with the Ujjayi breath. And whenever you're exhaling, you'll be listening, feel the sound of the breath of sa. This is the exhale sound. So it might be very, very quiet. but you are listening to your own breath for that sound of the breath. Sa. So I'm going to repeat this a few times just to get it in our systems. But then I'm going to go quiet so that you can hear your own breath. So every time you're inhaling, listening for hum. Every time you're exhaling, sa. So connecting with that Ujjayi breath. Hum on inhales. Sa on exhales. Hum. Sa. Hum. Sa. So now explore this still with a little bit of the Ujjayi breath. Keep listening for the sounds and repeating the mantra in your mind with the breath. Keep placing your attention with your breath. Hum, sa. Now gradually allow your Ujjayi breath to fade, but still keeping with your breath, keeping with your mantra, that the breath naturally has these sounds within it. So don't worry about even holding the Ujjayi breath anymore. Just listen to your breath, finding the hum and sa with your natural breathing rhythm. Keep bringing your mind's awareness to your breath. Keep engaging with that subtleness. Hum, sa. And very gently bring that awareness, your guided focus, and bring it through and up into the center point of your brain. So harnessing that directed energy as we're going to take a tour of the body, our 61-point body rotation. So starting at the point between the eyebrows, moving down to the base of our neck, right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, base of neck, left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder, base of neck, center of chest, right chest, center, left chest, center, navel, pubic bone, right hip, right knee, right ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, right ankle, right knee, right hip, pubic bone, left hip, left knee, left ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, left ankle, left knee, left hip, pubic bone, navel, center of chest, base of neck, point between your eyebrows. Now allow this awareness to expand throughout the whole of your body. Be in the whole of your body. Whole body. And then gently taking an inhale through the nose, fill the whole of your body up. And hold it as much as you can at the top. And then choose an exhale, breath to release that energy and come into your internal bow. Saying a thank you to yourself for practicing today. Taking that internal bow to the Sangha, to our inspiring company, to the group energy. And taking an internal bow to the yoga method itself. Namaste.